if you click this video, there are probably 3 things involved. Scenario A, you have a lot on your plate, you have exams coming up, your test is due in 3 days, your report is probably due this midnight, and your dog is about to give birth. Okay, maybe not the dog part, but you get the point. Now, if you happen to fall in scenario B, you are probably a productivity junkie, you have your assignments down, you have your reports down, probably even on honor roll, and you're curious to see which other tools you add in your productivity tool belt, and you're definitely gonna get what you're looking for. Nerd. Okay, I'm just kidding. You're not okay. Unless you are though. Scenario C, you saw this thumbnail, you clicked on it because you like my face. Oh my god, that was so cringe. Now, if you fall into camp A, B, or C, you are definitely going to get what you came for. Now, in this video, I'll be showing you how you can actually make time to study when you are slammed or you have a really busy schedule. Now, while I was in medical school, I usually had to juggle between working as a part-time teacher, being in a choir, going to the gym, being in a semi-professional frisbee team, practicing guitar, and studying medicine. And if you didn't know, that can be really stressful sometimes. But while I was in school, I always faced the problem of having not enough time. But that was until I discovered one of the biggest productivity scams out there. And the moment I discovered this, oh my god. Okay, I won't say it gave me wings like Red Bull, but it made life a whole lot easier. Now, before you can be able to effectively create time to study, you need to first avoid the scam that most of us face in the world of productivity and self-help. Now, you're probably wondering, what is this scam, you may ask? Well, now it all starts with the issue of time management. This may sound a bit controversial, but the concept of time management is fundamentally flawed. Now, I'm sure that statement has some of you going, oh my god, is my entire life a lie? Well, yes. Okay, that's a bit extreme though, but let me explain. It all starts with a definition of the word management. Now, according to Google, what does Google say? Management is the process of dealing with or controlling things or people. Now, that begs the question, can you actually control time? But if you can, please, could you please write in the comment section so that you could shout out to your boy, because I mean, I would really love your help in actually going back 15 years so I could buy some Bitcoin. Please, pretty please. Please. Now, in essence, time cannot be controlled. You cannot pause time. You cannot fast forward time. You cannot rewind time. You cannot manipulate time. The only thing that you can do is to allow yourself to be carried with the flow and passage of time into, 6 feet on. Okay, that's a bit, okay. Yeah, but you get what I mean, yeah. But what you can actually control is your energy and your attention. Now, if you get this, really get this concept, I could quite literally end this video and we can call it a day. But that's not going to happen, because I still need to explain what I actually mean. And also, we need the watch time, Just kidding. I want you to think of your energy and your attention like a water bottle. Now, I want you to imagine this bottle of water as your attention. Let's say you have tasks like studying, yeah? Pour some of that attention into the cup of studying. That's studying. Now, what happens if I poke holes into this bottle? We can both agree that it's going to be really difficult to control the attention you do have. I'm going to make it visual. Let's say this is the attention thief and TikTok. Oh, yeah, TikTok, Instagram. Okay, that was a lot. Okay, this is not really pouring as I expected it to pour, but you get the point. Where you pour the contents of that water bottle into, that's essentially where you're pouring your life into. And different tasks and activities in life requires different levels of energy and attention, and that includes studying. And that leads us to the first point. The first step to creating time is to actually guard against the thieves to your attention and energy. And these thieves could actually come in the form of social media, pornography, unnecessary outings, and hanging out with people that honestly give out low energy. Now, this is because the major tool you have to create any meaningful impact or change is where you direct your energy and attention. Where your attention goes, your energy flows. That's why social media addiction, or rather any addiction, is such a big deal. Doom scrolling or any of these vices takes your energy and attention from things that you may find important, like studying. So it then begs the question, how do we guard against this problem? How do we stop ourselves from falling into this trap? And that, my dear friends, is by something simple, and that is to embrace boredom. Yeah, I said it, boredom, like being bored. This is because we live in a time where we are constantly bombarded by notifications through our mobile phones, laptops, smart devices, and even your watch even at this point. And these constant notifications and distractions actually constitute avenues by which our attentions and our energy are actually diverted away from things that are important. The first step forward towards creating more time is by ridding yourself this attention and energy thieves. Now, I'm not saying you should go into the Himalayas and look for some Shaolin temple and let go of all worldly pleasures. No, that's not what I'm saying. But something as simple as just putting your phone on do not disturb or airplane mode can actually go a long way to fostering the necessary boredom that you need to create mental bandwidth and space for things that are actually important. But this actually begs another question. When we've found a way to retain our energy and attention, what do we then do next? This concept of priorities is actually a really important but not really commonly discussed topic. Now, if you're like me and you tend to fall into the habit of liking a lot of things, you would tend to struggle with creating priorities a lot. But the reality is, if you do not prioritize studying, there's a high probability that you will not be able to direct your attention and energy to do it. Now, here's an example. I like anime, and anytime I see somebody who needs to be educated in the ways of anime, I see it as a personal responsibility sometimes to evangelize the life that they are missing by not watching anime. And if you're watching this video right now, you don't watch anime, what are you doing, bro? But I digress. Now, in my bid to want to share my joy for anime, I tend to stumble upon a really depressing and very soul-crushing 4-worded statement, which is, I don't have time. Now, I feel like when I hear that statement, most times, I feel like it's just an excuse that people give me so I could just shut up and talk about something else. But what that statement actually really means is they do not see anime as important to direct attention and energy into. Now, that begs the question, that when you say you don't have time to study, what are you actually saying? Now, that's for you to answer. Because the thing is, we all have a finite amount of energy and attention within the day. And if we are really being honest with ourselves, the things that we deem really important, we would almost inevitably, without fail, create time for it. Or you just filled with a lot of holes that you can't really find enough energy and attention to direct towards anything anymore. This was a perfectly good bottle though. Things we do for content. Now, I like to think of energy and attention like money. Every task that you want to do or undergo has an attention price tag that you need to pay for you to see through to completion. Filming a YouTube video or writing a report or studying, they all require certain amounts of energy to actually see it through. But the thing is that if you have just $100 of attention every single day, now when you go about spending your $100 on random fruitless things, you would eventually find yourself having an account deficit and you will not be able to actually spend your attention on things that actually matter to you. This concept actually reminds me of a quote by Warren Buffett. If you buy things you don't need, soon you will have to sell things you do need. Now in this case, you would have to sell your goals. Every time you doom scroll, every time you put the minor things above the major things, every time you spend time on fruitless things that yield little to no results, what you are actually inadvertently doing is that you are selling the progress that you would have made on things that would have actually been profitable to you. And at this point, guys, if you're getting a lot of value from this video, please don't forget to hit the like button. It helps the algorithm. So now, that begs the question, how do we create clear priorities? Life is a series of trade-offs. Joseph Saka. Okay, I should really do an ad one day. But now that we have understood some major concepts in energy management, now mind you, I didn't say time management. I think you saw what I did there, yeah. Okay, if you saw it, you get it. But yeah, now we can dive deeper into the main question of why you actually click on this video. How do you make time to study? Now, like I've hammered throughout this video, we cannot actually make time to do anything, honestly. We can only create opportunities to redirect our attention and our energy into things that we deem to be important. Now, in every season in life, there is always something that you consider to be the most important thing amongst other alternatives at that point in life. Back in medical school, getting good grades was way up there, and any activity or anything that didn't contribute to getting that result was honestly a distraction. Because what is a distraction? A distraction is basically anything that stops you from getting traction or making progress towards an end result. I mean, there could be some side checks here and there, but the reality of energy redirection is accepting the reality of making sacrifices. What are you willing to sacrifice to get that A? What are you willing to sacrifice to make sure that that report gets submitted on time? What are you willing to sacrifice to see that? Okay, I don't really know what to say at this point. You get the point. Life is all about trade-offs, but there is a paradox. We also want to have side chicks, bruh, and enjoy the main chick too. And that honestly begs a really interesting question. How do we actually do that? Have the best of both worlds? And guys, I mean, by side chick, I actually mean, I don't really mean chickens, you know. Yeah, let's get our minds out of the garbage, guys. Now in this chapter, we get into the nitty-gritty of how you can actually create space and mental bandwidth to actually redirect your energy and your focus to things that you deem to be really important. And this process involves 6 simple steps, which are evaluation, analyzation, a list, time blocking, habit formation, and finally focus retention. Now, starting with the first one, evaluation. Now, in this phase, you essentially take note on how you are currently directing your attention and energy. Is at this point, you just observe yourself on how you spend your energies throughout the day, because this will actually help you to move into the next stage, which is to analyze. Now that you have data on how you actually exert your energies and apply yourself, you can analyze which ones lead you to a positive outcome and which ones you would term distractions. Now, this analyze phase doesn't just include you analyzing your data, it also includes you analyzing the type of person you are. Now, some people tend to have most of their energies in the mornings, and some people tend to have most of their energies at night. Personally, I'm actually an afternoon person, which is quite weird, but yeah, I'm kind of like in between. I get most of my work done in the afternoon stroke evening. That's where like energy comes. I'm actually filming this video like in the evening right now, actually. So yeah, you analyze yourself, you analyze your situation. Analyzing your situation involves you asking the question, what current commitments do you have in your life that is requiring you to exert a lot of energy and attention? Now, when you've analyzed the data, analyze yourself and analyze your situation, you can then move into the next phase, which is to create a list. Now, this is basically you creating a tier list. Okay, I'm actually going to do a video on like a tier list of something. I really need to do a tier list video because I mean, I actually like the sound of visuals actually. But yeah, this is basically you creating a tier list on things that you deem to be important. And what I actually tend to use to create this tier list is something called the Eisenhower matrix. The Eisenhower matrix basically breaks down different tasks into 4 sections, which are urgent and important, important but not urgent, unimportant and urgent, and unimportant and also not urgent. Now, obviously the first activities or the first tier activities are actually going to be your urgent and important activities, which need to be done first, and then followed by your important but not urgent activities, then thirdly followed by not important but urgent activities, and then the 4th activities that are going to be on your tier list are basically your unimportant ones and your also not urgent ones. Those ones, honestly, you can actually delete them because I mean, what are they doing there? I'm gonna make a video at some point really detailing this Eisenhower matrix, but yeah, that's just like a rough damn summary of how you can actually go about creating your tier list. I like to use an app called Microsoft To Do to create a list and then prioritize them by adding a star right next to them. So as I go through my day, the activities that have the star have my utmost attention and energy during the course of the day, and as I take them off, the more I'm able to maybe do other stuff, because you don't want to major in the minor, in the major. So you first start with the major. I don't know if you get me. I hope you do. Which then leads us to calendar blocking. What is calendar blocking? Calendar blocking is basically you creating blocks of time within your day in order to fulfill a particular task. Now, if you do not plan to do something within a particular time, odds are you may not really find the proper time window to eventually get it done. Now, mind you, I said time window, not you creating time or managing time. Just finding the time window to do it. Which then leads us to the next point, which is creating a habit. Now, this idea of creating a reading habit, I actually talk about it extensively in a video I made, how to create productive habits that actually stick. And yeah, if you really want to go deep into this phase, I really recommend that video. And finally, the next phase, which is focus retention. This is whereby you use every tool in your arsenal to make sure that your focus is not deviated or diverted into things that are distracting. I actually talk about this in a different video extensively, and honestly this video is really going to be really long. I think longer than what it is right now if I really go deep into it. But yeah, our wisdom nugget for the week: write the vision, make it plain upon tables, that he may run that readeth it, oh my god, that read it. Okay, you know, those days King James English was quite interesting actually. And guys, if you like this video, please don't forget to hit the like button. It helps with the algorithm. And if you like this video, you're gonna like this video about how to 10x your productivity. This is actually the video where I talk about like your focus retention actually in great detail. And with that, guys, remember to always keep it real. Bye, guys.